Hello everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I want to talk about misinformation online, and specifically misinformation spread by myself online. So this is inspired by a project that I'm currently working on, which is the Ivy sweater by Petite Knit. I am this far in it, so I'm just sort of working through the body. And the way that I've approached this sweater as a functional knit is kind of vastly different than I have approached sweaters before. And it sort of made me think about all the things in the past that I have sort of spoken out against online, like gauge swatching, like stockinette projects, like the use of interchangeable needles. And I hear you, why would anybody have any problem with interchangeable needles? And present me thinks that. So I'm intrigued as to what past me was really thinking when she said all those things. That's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to go back over some of my old videos and I'm going to listen to what I've said about these relatively inoffensive areas of knitting and see if my reasoning holds up to present me's logic. So if that sounds interesting to you, then stick with me and let's get into it. So one opinion I've had in the past is that gauge swatching isn't necessary. So let's have a look what I've said about gauge swatching. Often, for me at least, I'm not massively invested in how it fits. Sometimes you're making things that are like oversized or they're really not that fitted and you don't really have that massive investment as to how well it's going to fit. Now, I've long bemoaned the fact that I am lacking in functional knits. I have lots of very fun knits, I have lots of very pretty knits, and I often can't wear them because they just don't fit me very nicely. And that was the motivation as to why I gauge swatched this project. So actually for this project, I did not one, but two gauge swatches. And that's because the first one didn't meet gauge. And now, listen, I haven't finished the project yet, so I can't say for sure that it's going to fit me nicely, but the idea that you shouldn't gauge swatch because it doesn't really matter how things fit, or that I personally don't care how things fit, is just an excuse for laziness. Your clothes should fit. Or it's like weights of yarn that you're super unfamiliar with, then you kind of just think, well, let the chips fall where they may. That is a fair point if you consistently use the same yarns. However, me, Izzy, I don't always use the same yarns. And the way that I've applied that historically is, well, this is chunky and I know how to knit with chunky, so that's the same yarn, right? Or even like, this is a 100% wool chunky and I've used 100% wool chunky before and this is how it behaves, so therefore it's going to behave like that this time. Works some of the time, not every time, certainly not for me. I know this is probably short-sighted thinking because you think actually it would have taken you however long to do a gauge watch, but sometimes you just physically can't. And listen, I'm not the only one who really struggles with having the attention span to do a gauge watch. Deflection. For one, classic deflection. But two, actually, okay, so I think massively my view on knitting has really slowed down over the past few years. So I used to really give myself these deadlines. And I used to speak about that all the time, about how stressed I was about my knitting deadlines. And I would never do that to myself now. I just really don't have the ambition in a way. So that's kind of a negative thing. But also I just don't have that, whatever it is inside of me that was forcing me to knit and get really stressed over it. So as I said, for this project, I did two gauge swatches and they took me about an evening each. I've then since then, it's been about 2 months since then, and I've been working very slowly on this project. And I'm not saying something that past me doesn't know, like this is silliness, okay? But it is silliness. Actually doesn't always work. That's fair though. I actually think that is true. It doesn't always work, but that doesn't mean that you should never try, but like, it doesn't always work. The thing is, if you're making, for example, a heavy knit, actually the weight of that knit is going to pull it further than would be demonstrated by your sample. I mean, yeah, that is true, but it's not so bad. It's actually probably worth it doing a gauge watch. That said, I don't even know whether this jump's going to fit me now, so maybe I will eat my words, but gauge swatching, it's still probably not always necessary, and it's a matter of personal preference, and lots of us don't gauge swatch, but for me, I'll be gauge swatching from now on. Probably. The second thing that I had a lot to say about before that I have now changed my mind on is interchangeable needles. Now, why did I have such a problem with interchangeable needles? I don't really know. I just think I just didn't have any. And I was like, you don't need interchangeable needles. And especially I think what it was is I saw a lot on sort of Reddit and Instagram of those lykke needles or lykke needles. And they're so expensive. It was like over £100 for a set of circular needles. And I thought, in no way is this necessary. But let's see specifically what it said. I don't know if the object of this is to save people money in the end, but often the kits are not that cheap. And by the time you know that you like to knit with circular needles, you've probably already purchased enough circular needles that you're already going back on yourself if you go back and buy a kit. So I do understand this for beginner knitters to say like a circular needle set is not a beginner's essential. You should wait to see whether you enjoy knitting first before investing in a particularly expensive set of circular needles. And that's probably true, but at the same time, now that I've got some sets of interchangeable needles, I mean, they're great. I would probably recommend them. Not maybe to a beginner, like if you've just learned to knit a week ago, but like even if you're just like doing a jumper and you've got, you know, you want a different size for the neck, for the arms and for the body, I mean, circular needles is not a bad idea. And I guess what I thought at the time as well is that they were all these sort of expensive sets. This is the set that I've got, and actually I got two. So this is the big main set and this is the mini set as well. And it's just for this jumper because what I realized is I didn't actually have all the circular needles that I wanted because the pattern called for a 5.5 needle and I had like a random mix of 6s and 5s, and I had like a 1 rogue 5.5 in a 60 centimeter cord length, which wasn't even needed for the pattern. So with that in mind, unless I wanted to go and spend like £30 on various circular needles, this was like a lot cheaper. I think this was like £50. This is the bigger one, which has like the bigger length cords in, and this was, I want to say maybe about £40 or something, which is like the mini needles with the small cords. And yes, okay, that was a bit of an investment together, but like it's pretty good and I really enjoy having it. But let's actually see what my circular needle kit looks like before, because I do show it in this video. This is my circular needle collection. I mean, ultimately, yes, this probably cost me more than an interchangeable circular needle kit, but I didn't know that at the time. And who's to say I would have enjoyed the circular needle kit? Okay, so Izzy from the future, I do really enjoy the circular needle kit. It's great. So one thing that I don't think I mentioned in my previous video that is also relevant and why I really am enjoying the circular needle kit is that it's got these little cord stoppers. And so that means that like if you're trying to rest a project on a cord, you can just put the cord stoppers on, you don't have to keep the needles in, which obviously for a normal sort of static circular needle, you'd have to just leave it on the needle or decant it onto one of these because you couldn't obviously take the needles off the ends. So that is another benefit. I will say when I first started knitting with the circular needles though, it came unscrewed from the cord. So this is like a screw in here and it came undone. And so the needle came off my knitting and I was like, I knew it. I knew I was right all along about circular needles. But then I actually found out how to screw it in properly and I just sort of check as I go, like, is it screwed in properly? And then it's been absolutely fine. And I've been knitting like quite a bit further than that. Interchangeable needles. I think I knew at the time I was taking an unnecessarily strong stance on interchangeable needles because who are they harming? But I said it anyway and I take it back now because they're great. How cute are they? They're like blue. I think they're called denim. Yeah. So the final thing is the fact that this is a stockinette project and kind of that stockinette is a joy to knit. So I've always said that stockinette is so boring. I need so much more stimulation from my knitting. That's why I love a bit of intarsia or a bit of stranded colour work or a bit of double knitting, just something to sort of keep me interested. But what I found increasingly over the years is with those really complex projects, even though I love them and they give me such a sense of pride at having completed them, day to day, I can find it really difficult to motivate myself to sit down and knit just because I know it's a headache. Case in point, the whole sweater, which is the best thing I've ever knit. I honestly think it's the top 10 things that people have ever knit. I hated knitting that. It was so hard and exhausting, and honestly it really like negatively impacted my relationship with knitting, even though like I love it now it's finished and I will probably do another project like that again because I'm insane. It was really hard to do. Whereas this one, let me tell ya, it's just a joy. It's so nice. I've been watching Maths Australia. I've been knitting it on the train. I can just do a couple lines here and there. All I'm doing it off, I'm not counting the lines. I just have to do it off the measurement. I'm trying to get to 56 centimeters and there's just no rush with it. I don't know whether it was linked with the complexity of previous projects, but I always would be like, I want this. Often, yes, I think it was actually, because often it would be seasonal. It'd be a Christmas knit, it'd be a Halloween knit. It would be a insert other occasion knit or just a deadline that I set for myself. Whereas this, I'm like, what's this for? Like, there's no rush and therefore it's just relaxed. And if I don't fancy knitting one evening, I haven't got this voice in my head being like, well, you're behind on the deadline. I'm just like, whatever, I don't fancy it. And then when I do get into it, I could just knit away for like hours and just like be in my zen. So I really, really enjoy this. I'm really, really hoping that it fits me nicely, because the reason why I did functional knits is because, I mean, I've bemoaned the fact I don't have functional knits so many times, but I just wanted a nice jumper to wear, just a plain jumper that I can wear. And whenever I go to the shops to try and buy myself jumpers, and I wonder if other knitters can relate to this, I can't bring myself to do it. Look at the composition often and it's like there's no wool in there whatsoever, but it's still like, you know, £60. And do I really want to spend £60 on something that doesn't even have any wool in? So then I'm like, oh, well, I could knit it myself. And especially when it's like a plain thing, I'm like, well, I could so easily knit that myself, but then I just never actually do it. So this is what I'm doing, and I really like the way that this looks, so hopefully it will look nice on, and if it does, then I can knit it in other colours and just sort of be chilled with it. Which isn't to say that I'm completely a stockinette knitter forever now. I'll probably get bored of it before long, and obviously I'm working on a fair round project at the moment and my double knitted long dog sampler, which is so close to being done. So like, I think it's just having that balance of not having to like do a showstopper every single knit. I just want to knit things I can wear. I just want to enjoy my knitting in every day rather than as a creative outlet. It should really be both for me right now. So those are some of my thoughts. I hope today this was interesting to you, and maybe if you're a bit of a scrappy knitter like me, you'll relate to some of my previous views, or maybe not. Maybe you'll be shocked and appalled at the fact that I ever advocated for not gauge swatching. But in any event, thanks so much for watching. Love you loads, and speak to you soon.